Hello, everybody. Welcome to my spoiler-free review for The Thunderbolts. I enjoyed this movie. As an MCU fan, I really loved the film. It was a really good time. So in this video, I will be sharing completely spoiler-free what I loved and what in the dislikes that I had with the movie. So let's get started. First off, one of the best parts, like the action. The action was really good. A lot of it was done practically and it worked. It looked so good. Like Florence Pugh actually jumping off the second tallest building in the world. That was incredible. Like that was real. For people who've seen the movie, that was a real thing that Florence Pugh did for the movie. And even though people were like, "No, that's too dangerous. That's too dangerous for her to do that." She did it, and it was awesome to see. And they do a lot of practical stuff to really enhance the movie and make it feel more grounded and just almost like a classic MCU film in a way. The story was pretty, it was a pretty simple story. Like the stakes were definitely high, but these characters were so grounded. And the story to me focused more on just the human beings of the MCU. And it really made me love these characters. When I first heard the roster for Avengers Doomsday and I saw that the Thunderbolts were going to be a part of it, I was really just meh on that idea, because if they were marketing it as like a Suicide Squad team, I was like, I want Avengers Doomsday to focus more on the new Avengers team that they're setting up with all these new characters and all that, or having the X-Men in there, the Fantastic Four, just focusing on them, because with the Thunderbolts also being added, it felt like a very just stacked, it could be a very chaotic mess. And like Red Guardian wasn't my favorite character in the MCU, neither was US Agent or Ghost. I really liked Florence Pugh and Winter Soldier, or Yelena and Winter Soldier. Those were the characters I were the most amped up to see. And then seeing that the Sentry is also coming to Avengers Doomsday, that was also cool to me. So, after watching the movie, I could officially say they did a awesome job with these characters. They actually made me care about them in such a deep way. So I'm going to talk a bit more about the characters individually without spoilers, okay? Yelena, she was my favorite character of the movie. She was sort of like the main focus. The movie was made from her perspective, and she and Bob's chemistry. Bob's also a big part of the film. Their chemistry was just so good to see, and I really liked it. And they took such a awesome character like Yelena, like, this ruthless, deadly assassin, and paired her up with a very just messed up dude. And the way they just were around each other, their chemistry was so good. I really enjoyed it. So the chemistry between all the characters worked really well, and they did flesh out the characters a lot more. Like John Walker, oh my gosh, like in this film, he is such a lovable jerk. Like he is just a jerk through and through. But there were bits in the movie that actually make you sympathize with him. Is he justified for acting like a jerk? No, not really. I mean, but without spoilers, you get to see why he is sort of the way he is, and it's hard to watch, and for some people it could be hard to sympathize with. I know some people may have struggled to sympathize with him more with the way he acted and like post Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So but I thought he was a very lovable character, and like the emotional stuff really hit, and I was surprised, and I actually grew to care about John Walker, and that was something I enjoyed. They put the characters in a high status of like they want to prioritize growing these side characters and making them main characters. They did a great job with that. Like Ghost, I never cared much for Ghost, and sure, in the movie she is kind of stale, like she is very stoic. I don't think she's like poorly written at all, but they don't really dive much into her character at all. They do have some unique things that help her stand out. Like she's the only person who has like a more traditional superpower rather than just super soldier serum, you know? And she was cool. Bob, I have a lot of thoughts on Bob. I loved his character. And that he was really well written, and he was, let's say, if you watch the context, if you know the context of like the trailers, like or Sentry, he is kind of a scary dude, and just the way he's set up in the movie, just wow. That like he could be a very scary character, and the fact that he is returning for Doomsday is going to be huge. He is a really cool character. So if you go see the movie and you are a Sentry fan, you are going to be in love. I loved it, and I loved his fight scenes. Just loved. I loved him, and I definitely want to see him again. So what else is there? I talked about action characters. To say, I have a very few negatives. Like I am a big MCU fan, and some of the things I wish they could have done more was to flesh out some more characters in some more meaningful ways. Like Yelena, John Walker, Bob. They really focus on like these, like their depression and their mental health, and they don't really flesh out every character. Like Winter Soldier, like the Winter Soldier doesn't really get much of that, like that deep connection. But to the MCU's credit, he's had years of development, and we know his story. We don't know all these other characters as well as we do Winter Soldier. So that's not really on the movie, but they could have done some more to like flesh out some of the other characters such as Ghost. But the movie, this is also a really quick positive. The movie was actually really funny. The jokes landed and it worked. And I was impressed with that. Just the jokes worked, and when they had jokes, it was where they fit. They didn't like have a serious moment and then jump to a funny moment. So that was refreshing to see. So I got to give them props to that. I know people don't really enjoy MCU humor, and it's hit or miss for me, but in this movie, it definitely was a hit. So but again, comedy is subjective. Some people may find something funnier than others. I thought it was a funny film without being too overly comedic. It was a serious, grounded film with comedic elements in it. So it mixed well. It was a good movie. I enjoyed this movie. And I don't really have a lot of negatives to say. Like, were there things I definitely wanted more out of this film? Yeah, maybe. But again, we're going to be getting these characters again. And the overall plot and story, it was a very simple story, it feels like. It went from really grounded to very high stakes. And if you've seen the movie, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's a good film. It is an enjoyable movie to start off the summer, pretty much. It was awesome. I enjoyed Thunderbolts. And there are 2 post-credit scenes. Stay for both of them. They are both, one is funny, but that's in the middle. And the second one, very important for the MCU going forward. It's awesome. Anyway, it's a good movie. I hope you guys enjoy the movie. Go see it. I recommend it. It was a fun film. I might go see it again sometime because it was just that good of a movie, in my personal opinion. So that's all I really have to say. Comment down below your thoughts on the Thunderbolts if you have seen it. Keep it spoiler free. And just comment your thoughts on the movie. And be sure to like, subscribe, and share. I love watching movies, and I love doing movie reviews. So that's all I really have to say. So go see it. It's worth it. I think it's amazing. So thank you guys for watching, and have a good rest of your day. Goodbye.